My name's Anthony, and welcome to my meditation class. I hold it 3 times a week, so Mondays and Thursdays from 10 to 10:30, and on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 for more intense, like breathing work and other kinds of meditations. So if you're curious to try like other new things, it's Tuesday. Today we'll just be doing two 10-minute bouts of mindfulness meditation. What that means is we're just going to be sitting together, mostly in silence, meditating on our thoughts. So there are about three or four things I want to go over before we start. The most important ones being your posture. So if you've meditated before and you've done yoga, you might know about the whole Seiza or Lotus Position. If you know what those are and you're comfortable being in those, then go ahead and do. If you don't know what those are, it doesn't matter. In essence, it's just sitting on the floor with your legs crossed, but sitting in the chair is just as good. I'm sitting in the chair too, so most important thing really is just to have your back straight like a tree. If you think about a kind of like a thin tree, you want to be more or less rigid, but kind of flexible enough for the wind to kind of move you around. So if you feel during the session that you're a little kind of tense or it hurts, move around, that's okay. The biggest thing is just change posture and come back. Other than that, try to keep your feet planted onto the floor. And for your hands, one thing you might try would be to take one palm, place the second in, and gently touch your thumbs. And that'll give you a sense of whether you're focusing too hard or too little. You'll notice if you focus too hard, your thumbs are going to have like a lot of pressure. And if you feel a little too sleepy, they're going to fall apart. So just gently touching them together, that's where we want to be. So for the entire meditation, try to treat it as that. Not too strict, not too relaxed, somewhere gently in between. Now for your eyes, what you might try is called soft focus. And what that means is you might look down on the floor about 45 degrees, a meter in front of you, and that'll look kind of like this. And after about a minute or two, you'll notice that your eyesight goes a little blurry, and that's just pleasant. And if you haven't had your coffee, it'll keep you awake. You could also try to fall asleep if you'd like. By that, I might close your eyes. Sorry about that, but I mean, both are good. Other than that, in terms of what to think about, there's a very easy one we could try, which is to count your exhalations. So you might breathe in without trying to force your breath. You want to count the breath and count one, two, all the way up to 10. And if you make it to 10, try to come back to one and go up and down as often as you can. Now, the hardest part about all of this is what we want to do is we want to count our breath and we want to keep a singular focus for as long as we can. What will happen is your mind is going to start to wander and you're going to start to think about what you want to eat, about how you feel, how itchy something is, or something that happened to you a week before, or some emotion that's passing through. And ideally, the most important part and the hardest part is you want to recognize all that passes through and you want to release judgment, meaning that you want to think it through, think, oh, that's cool, and then just come back to your breath. Ideally, it sounds very simple, and what you'll notice is it's easier to stop thinking about something, but what will happen is you'll come back to thinking back to it. So as soon as your mind wanders off from your breath, enjoy the fact that it wandered off because that's perfectly human and fine. And then you just want to try to come back to one, start at one, then two, and so on. There are two analogies or metaphors that I love to use now because I think that it's the best way to explain it over video. And imagine that you're in a tornado. All your thoughts, all your feelings are always in that tornado and you're feeling it, right? You're getting tossed left and right. And ideally, meditation isn't about trying to stop the tornado. That's just kind of silly. You can't, it's nature. But what you can do is try to find a little habitat, like a little house, a barn with a mirror or some glass pane so you can watch the tornado from afar and appreciate it. That's all you really want to do because often you have inset emotions and thoughts and they're perfectly natural once again. You just want to look at them and disconnect just for that little second. That's really it. Another quick analogy would be that, like the famous painting, which I still don't remember the name of, there's the big wave and the tiny boat just under. We're often that little boat under, and we get rocked by waves back and forth, back and forth. And we feel everything, we feel our whole day, we feel our emotions innately. But if we try to recognize ourselves as the deep blue ocean instead of that little boat, which is still possible, what'll happen is you start to feel that, yes, I am hungry, but that's okay. Yes, I am very angry at that person, but that's okay too. And you get that little bit more of a self control, and you can kind of choose what to follow through with. You can still be angry at the person, but you could also just kind of tone it down if you want to as well. And now, just before we start, there is one thing from York University. We have the I Am a Lions Ambassador series. So today's one of those classes. And any York student can join the program and get rewards and prizes for attending free events like today. I think we also have Zumba and a whole other variety of amazing things. And today's code is get moving, as in you can probably see it in the chat. So you can visit the York U Lions website / I am a lion, and for more information on the ambassador program. Effectively, they send you free things, and it's really cool. I think they might even send gift cards if I remember right. So other than that, there's an app I like to use called Insight Timer. It's available on iOS and Android. It's effectively a fancy timer app with nice bell noises that I really like. And it also tracks whether you keep along with your meditation or not. And it also has guided meditations too. So it's just great app, free. Should try it. Other than that, when you hear a bell, we're going to start the meditation. And when you hear it again, we're going to stop. I'm going to take a moment for any questions or anything I may have glimpsed over. Other than that, we'll begin. One. Okay. Because I can also reply to you in the chat too if you guys want, just for the future. Or like a thumbs up or a angry emoji. I don't know. Okay. Thanks. All right. So yeah, like I said, please get into your position. And when you hear the bell, we start. When you hear it again, we stop. And see you soon. It's out. Okay, and that was the first 10 minutes. I hope everyone's doing okay there. Okay. Other than that, if you want to be vocal in the chat, I mean, like use like 10 S's and a yes, or if you want to talk about anything you've experienced, I'm all for it. I know the video like recording thing makes it weird. It makes it weird for me too, but just in case, uh, I do want to help. I just don't know how. That's the biggest issue with this whole video thing. But the biggest things you might have felt is maybe you felt like your body shake, or your legs twitch. That's normal, especially if you're not used to sitting quietly. Your body's going to try to get out of that state as much as it can. You'll notice that maybe you felt some strong emotions too. And those strong emotions are once again your body not being okay with sitting still. It thinks, okay, I need to move, I need to get out of this. It's kind of like an escape artist, so it's okay, but don't let it get out. Try to stay still if you can. And with time, it'll just pass. Other than that, I mean, I hope it was fun. I know that I'm very bullheaded, so when I was told to focus on my breath, I hated it, and I never actually focused on my breath. So I do want to say that if you're focusing on the noises around you, the feeling of the seat, how warm your hands are, anything like that, do whatever you want. It's not meant to be like a control thing. The biggest thing really is just sitting on moving. Beyond that, it's all up to you. Other than now, let's do the other 10 minutes if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna assume yes, so you're still here. So
Um,
yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
Um, so I had trouble. I think it was mentioned that you need to keep your eyes at like 45 degrees.
Roughly, yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me and like the fact that I have glasses and really weird
Okay.
eyesight, but I
Uh,
felt like that was difficult when I started.
yeah.
So I was wondering if, you know, why that was, that you need to keep it at 45 degrees, and if you can just
Oh,
like switch it and like keep your eyes shut or something.
I mean, no, you can keep them shut too. The reason I do it or I like to talk about it is people don't think it's an option. Often people think it's either open, or just completely closed. But if you feel uncomfortable, there's no reason to do it. 45 degrees is kind of rough. The idea is you're just looking down, if that makes sense. You're like half open, it's like a soft focus, they like to say. Is it an issue of like pain or what is it?
Yes, that's
Okay.
probably just like a me issue because
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I guess just take it easy. Yeah, close them for the next one. It's okay. Anything else at all? Or okay. Sounds good. Well, in that case, we start 10 minutes, we end bell to bell. See you in 10. And that concludes it, eh? Hope everyone's feeling okay. Last thing I want to leave with would be to try to treat meditation like brushing your teeth. So 5 to 10 minutes in the morning or at night, before everything starts or when everything ends, will give you a long-lasting impact and will benefit your life greatly. Try to treat it like a chore, if that makes sense, or really try to, think of it as brushing your teeth, so nothing special, and maybe we'll see you soon. Other than that, I'll sign off and nice seeing everyone. Take care.